that discussion was that we need to critique and rework the system and bring it closer home. Yes, Nigeria has some similarities in terms of its diversities with America as a continent, as a country, but not everything about America is similar about Nigeria. So the presidential system of government that we've been practicing since 1979, when you compare it with the particularly parliamentary system that were practiced from 50s up to 66, is completely different, and I believe that those who experience the parliamentary system are saying that Nigeria was better off with the parliamentary system of government than what we have now. I believe that as someone who has been in the House of Representatives from 2003 to 2015, and who has been Speaker of that House, we have a lot of work to do to bring the realities of our situation to bear in conformity, with the presidential system of government. Of course, yes, it's not completely holistically as it is in the United States, because in the US, you don't have a Senate president. In Nigeria, you have a Senate president. So it's not completely that system that has been or is being practiced here in Nigeria. But I believe that there is a lot more to be done in terms of working the system to conform with our own realities. But even beyond that, it is also about the practitioners. We have had some gains in our electoral system in 2015. Everybody appreciated that the 2015 elections were judged to be fairly okay. What happened thereafter? 2019, we witnessed a reversal. 2023, even worse. So it is not completely about just the system. It has to do also with the people and the operators and the practitioners of the system. So we need to change our ways. We as a people who are practicing this democracy need to imbibe the virtues of those practicing democracy in the United States. Muhammadu Buhari, being a retired military general and a former head of state, was going to fight insecurity and insurgency. But what do we notice? What was the end? What was the end game? Now the expectation is that Ashwaji Bola Ahmed Tinubu is going to engender very sound economic policies. What are we witnessing today? So it is not about the laws, it is not about the system, it is about practitioners. And we need to really do more in that regard.
That there are no two ways of piloting a 747. There's no Nigerian way. There's a way you're trained to fly that plane. And democracy has certain simple principles, which is the person who votes his vote must count. And that is simplicity. Once we go beyond that, then what we're doing is that we don't complicate issues for ourselves. And as I'm sitting here, I can tell you, in the last election, I defeated the sitting governor because people voted for me and nobody manipulated the result. Simple. If people manipulate the results and another person emerges, that person does not have what we will call legitimacy. And it is a fact of life that when you are not legitimate, it is impossible for you to engender the support of the populace.
Legitimacy must exist to be able to govern. Whether you are elected, you carry out the coup. Why do soldiers on today say that the hospitals have become consulting units and all of that? They are trying to end a certain kind of legitimacy. They are not negative legitimacy. Make people believe that, okay, it's there for our sake. Now, if there is is a problem with legislation. And people wonder, what is he really doing? Is he really there because of us? We know. Even if you intimidate them with Supreme Court and all of that, they know it's a sham, it's a fact. And so they can't fight you. Okay, carry you, what to do with you one day.
The fundamental was that we didn't take on that journey by just giving a promise that there was no plan to achieve. So the state governors have fundamental power. They have enough power to be able to fulfill some of the promises if they want to. It's important if they want to. So when a governor is committed to meeting the obligations, for instance, reducing the poverty headcount, which is one of the key things, you have to ask yourself what policies can actually achieve that. So if you're going to try private investors, we said we're going to move the GDP from $4.4 billion to $30 billion over the next 8 years. This is not a promise that is easy to achieve if you don't do the fundamentals, attract the private sector to drive and catalyze growth. The powers, so to speak, to have state security, but we do have the powers to collaborate with existing security agencies and have the political will to do what was not easily done before. So the governor has political will. He has the right type of collaboration with security agents. He has the right type of team to drive it. Professor Tommy has been pushing value-based leadership. So at the very beginning, the governor said, what would be the core values that can help me drive the team that I have gathered? So he set out with 4 key areas. First was meritocracy. He felt that it was important to hire the right people. And so it wasn't just meritocracy of recruitment, it was also meritocracy of ideas. So the ideation and the people was one of the key things. He felt that respect was critical. The next thing was team spirit, not just teamwork, so that we work collaboratively in areas and support one another. And this is around the key things. And finally, what are we going to define success to mean to the people of Enugu State? And also create this regional market that we are pushing for. So the last was excellence. This catalyzed the process of our process from ideation to transaction close. So governors do have the power if they choose to.
This is number one. Quite frankly, it is a difference between the different presidents. You cannot compare Obasanjo's presidency, Yar'adua's presidency, to what we have today. Period. Under Obasanjo, the governor was in charge of security. I, for one, requested that every DPO, for rank of DPO, to commission in Anambra be removed. And it happened. I said, every DPO, I didn't say assistant commissioner, for DPO of police, that I don't want to see in Anambra State again. That I want to have a commissioner of police. And I'm taking decisions, everything that happens with security in Anambra State, including putting people's house down. I did it with the authority of the president. And every month, there is a conversation between the president and the governor. And it happened on Yar'adua. I remember telling the governor, when Buhari was there, I said, how can you be acting with people? Don't get me talk to the president. He looked at me as if I was speaking. I said, go to the president and request something. So, there is a difference between collaboration and authority. It's totally different. Like Sue said, if the president decides the things will work, it's like this is security. It's either you're in charge or you're not in charge. If we are at war, we declare war. When I came to Anambra State, everybody, people were collecting money in the street, people were doing all sorts of things. Some businesses took over our back. I went to Obasanjo, I said, listen, if you don't want me to be governor, I go home. If I want to be governor, I will be in charge here. He said, Mr. Young man, just don't do things that will be very peaceful. And I went home. In 1 week, they have 3 DIG of police. Okino, Onovo, everybody, and everything. And he was like, what are you? I said, listen, sir. decide whether values should take over the country or not. The governors have to now work with him. Governors have to be in charge of their state and hold them responsible if you want to talk. Just like what you said about corruption. The same thing. So, in my own time, I'll say, under Yar'adua, under Yar'adua was even better. Yar'adua asked me to go and remove a village. I said, listen, I have a problem with this village. Come to government. I said, we must demolish everything there. When I became governor, I had it a revised traditional rule of volunteers there. There was a place called Apaka Forest. That was where we criminals are. And I said, see this forest, President, I want to level it. I don't want it to be a forest again. He said, do whatever you want. Today is the best habitable place in the area of Obasanjo. We will not do it. Everybody go. But the president gave us authority. He didn't say no. You have to take it easy. He said, no, let me see. That's what we want to do. So he needs a president who is determined, gives the governor authority. The governor takes the authority and go and do it. Like Sue said, if the president decides today to stop corruption, you don't need the AFC. If you're not stealing, your wife is not stealing, your children are not involved, you reduce it by 60%. Everybody will want for cover. But when your wife, your children, everybody doing their own, people will help them. And that's what happened. We can't just a currency of a country is one of the things that make that country. Today, our country has been colonized by people in government. You put a law and even official is here, $5, you go to jail. No more dollar transaction here. I'm not those who are importing goods can use dollar. We have naira, we have currency, we should be proud of it. But when people in government are now once spending dollar, spraying it, doing everything, you have the whole system. People used to disagree with president. But when I is here, they were disagreeing with Obasanjo. They quarreled, and everybody, people in the everything where Obasanjo was in the meeting. Like quarreling with governors. After quarreling, they walk away. Today, governors can't walk away on the president. Because they walk away, they don't know when they're going to lie. But they used to walk away from Obasanjo. So these are the things, we must have a system that work. When they were there, Obasanjo was coming, they would come. Because they believe in a system. Today it was like the governors are now outside. If the president said this thing, everybody wants to go. It should be. They are governors of their own states. And they govern their own state. Like in America, we govern democracy today. We should practice like them. No governor goes to take permission, shouts for the one, buy the consent. You know, so these are issues that we need to deal with.
Control, security, powers of the government. Yes, in terms of developmental issues in your state, yes, you have the control of resources, you can come up with policies, but then you can only implement those policies, no matter how good, if the state is safe and secure. The all and most important ingredient for any development is security. Governments don't have control over security. They don't. They post you, Commissioner of Police, at their whims and caprices, and they deal with you and relate with you as they deem fit. So it's not about collaboration, it's beyond collaboration. Matters of security, governments are supposed to be hands-on, because they are the ones dealing with the live issues of ensuring that people are secure. And it's not the case. So there is the need for us to restructure and devolve more powers to the governors so that they can work on issues of security and even give them more resources.
That we should not just drift away from it. there isn't enough listening. And it's one of the most important attributes of leadership. If you can't listen, you cannot lead. And this is one of the big strengths. I mean, I keep talking to my Indian friend and talking about how enough credit has not been given to Rao as Prime Minister for India's turnaround. We're supposed to be pleased with them, the things that happen. But I bring it home. Enough credit. Actually, it's very unfortunate. It's not be given to Umar Musa Yar'adua. He was a listener. He listened to governors. He listened to people, ordinary civilians like me. Once Friday afternoon, I still remember, he said to me, what's wrong with Nigeria? I said, I'm a teacher, I will talk. He said, talk. And for 2 hours, he sat there just listening to me. So we have been unfortunate, very unfortunate with losing President Yar'adua when we lost him. But we need people who go to leadership positions to learn to listen and to consult. That's part of the essence of the policy process. And we're missing it now. This, shut down the border. Not the next 2 weeks later, you find out why did we shut it down. What are the consequences? We act before we think. And this is tragedy. This is what Nigeria has been living